Hi there, welcome back. How are you today? So in this beautiful video, I just wanted to let you know that I understand where you're at. For so much of my adult life, for so long, I felt stuck. I felt like I was on this merry-go-round and every year felt the same. You know, just going through my anger with my parents, being angry. It consumed me for such a big part of my adult life. So I know what that feels like, and it feels like you're never going to stop feeling that way. It's going to go on forever. You're just going to be angry till the day you die. And for some people, yes, this is the experience they come to have. But for many of us, and I know the people that come to this channel, they're awakening. They're looking for answers. They know that there's something more, because always in my heart was this feeling that there is more. Surely there's more to life than this, than being angry all the time, than feeling frustrated all the time. We were in debt. We had a mortgage, constantly behind with the bills. I didn't know how to manage money. I was never taught. I didn't think at any time in my adult life did I stop to think, I can go and get help. Someone can teach me how to manage this money, to move forward, to get out of this debt. But no, I stayed on that merry-go-round. I just kept going round and round, doing the same thing over and over and expecting things to suddenly fall in my lap. Playing the lotto for years and years and years. This year will be 30 years that I've been playing the lotto. And I still play it because I figure, well, if the money comes, I'm not going to knock it back. But it's a bonus. I'm not relying on it like I was when I was younger. That, any day now it's going to come and my life's going to change and my life's going to be a rainbow. Everything's going to be amazing. That was my adult years. Angry with my mum. Angry with my sister. Waiting for this lotto to come so my life would be amazing, my life would change. And then my daughter was born. And then everything changed. Self-love. We're still working on this beautiful comment. But for those of you out there, I had a feeling from this comment, what was coming through, that you feel like it's never going to change. This is how it felt for me. And that's why I went into my second depression, because it was like, what is the point if I'm just going to keep getting more of this? And I was frustrated and I was annoyed most of the time. Yes, I was happy. I had joyful moments. It's all mixed in. It's all part of being human. I had lots of good times with my husband. I still have lots of good times. But when you awaken, everything changes. Now, what was coming through was I was reading this comment is just bringing up so much for me. So much. Self-love is almost impossible. But you know it exists, or you wouldn't be looking for it. You know it's possible, or you wouldn't be searching for answers. You wouldn't be searching for your self, capital S, if it's not part of your path. For those who are not here to awaken, they don't have any questions about self-love, self-awareness, awakening, all these things that we talk about on this channel. They're not questions that people ask, or like me, that spend years thinking, surely there's more to life than this. Surely there's more to life than this. That is what kept me going all those years when it got so hard and I didn't want to be here anymore. I was done. Surely there has to be more to life than this. So what I'm reading here is self-love is almost impossible if you feel this way about yourself, if you feel this way about life. I've tried to release these limiting thoughts many, many times. Now, let's look at that. What was coming up with the self-love is almost impossible if you feel this way about life, about yourself. Yes. Yes, it is impossible when you're looking at it that way. Because self-love is about loving your human experience, loving all of it, understanding that in every moment that you've been through, your soul, your spirit has been gaining knowledge, has been gaining wisdom. I'm going to give you an example that's from the new book. Say you have a recipe for, I'm trying to think of a dish that most people would like. Let's just go with cake. Let's say you love cake and you have this recipe for a cake, for a new cake. Okay, and you read the recipe many, many times. And you imagine, wow, that cake sounds amazing. It must taste so good. But that's all you do with the recipe. You just read it and imagine, wow, it must taste amazing. This is the soul in its natural state. It knows that this cake exists. It's read the recipe many, many times. But that's all it is to the soul, to the spirit. Concept, idea, theory. It has the recipe in its natural state. But until it comes here to earth, to this simulation, to this world, until your soul comes here and takes that recipe to a kitchen and pulls out all the ingredients and makes that cake. What does that cake taste like? What does the cake taste like? The soul doesn't know until you've made that cake and you've taken that first bite. This is what life is. Life is yearning to know what that tastes like, what that feels like. What does it feel like to jump in the middle of the ocean in winter? What does it feel like? How do you know until you've done it? And then the soul stands there like, oh, it's freezing, but so exhilarating. How do you know until you've done it? How do you know? This is what the soul, the spirit, is doing here. Experiencing all the theory, all the concept, all the ideas of what it is. This is what this simulation is for. What use is a recipe if you don't create the dish? What is the use of creating the dish? It may smell amazing. I can send you a video of me making this dish, and it looks amazing when it's done. But what is the purpose of making this dish? What is the purpose of creating the dish? Is it to smell it and, it smells amazing? Is it to take photos of it and post it up on Instagram and Facebook and look what I've created? It looks amazing. Is this the purpose? Or is it to taste it? What does it taste like? It tastes amazing. This is life. When you get this, you get what life is about. And it's about loving. All of it. It's about loving the recipe. Oh, I had the recipe. Loving the journey. You take that recipe to the kitchen. You pull out all the ingredients. You make a complete mess. But as you are creating this dish, you already have all these senses, all the smells, all the visuals of all the ingredients that you're using and putting together and chopping up, or whatever it is that you're doing with them, mixing them. Look at all the experience you're having from reading the recipe to creating the dish. That is life. It's not about just, the recipe. In this case, we're using recipe of making a dish. To the soul, it's what is it like to have this childhood where I'm going to be unloved? I have the concept, I have the idea of what it might feel like. What does it feel like to be unloved? I wonder. That is the recipe. What does it feel like to be unloved? That's the concept. And then you go through your life. That is the kitchen. Getting all the ingredients together, putting it all together. That is your childhood. And you create the dish. And that's your adult years going through that, feeling unloved. What does it feel like now that you've been through it? Some experience we come to have, some of them are blissful. They bring us peace. They make us feel good. And some experiences, not so good. It's like when we try all the flavors of the ice cream. Some flavors we're going to love. Oh, this is my favorite flavor. I love this flavor. And for you, that flavor may be having children. You get to relive your childhood and be goofy and be funny and all the wonderful things that you loved about your childhood. You get to relive that with your children. Be playful. Remember your innocence, all of that. That may be a flavor of ice cream that you enjoy. Being unloved. Feeling that pain inside, that emptiness, that void. That's a flavor of ice cream I'm not too keen on. It doesn't make me feel too good. I don't really like that flavor. If you think of experiences as flavors of ice cream, then you are closer to the truth. And what if you are here to taste all of them? As we said in a previous video, we have this lifetime, and this lifetime will only happen once. Yes, it will only happen once, the way it is, with the partner that you have, with the children that you have, with the parents that you have, in the country that you were born, in the lifestyle that you were born. Everything in this lifetime, as it has happened, will only happen once. When you return to spirit and you come back, the next lifetime will be different. Even though you may come back to have a similar experience, your parents may not be the parents you had before. Your partner may not be the same partner. In the next lifetime, you may not have children because you've come to have a different experience. So each lifetime is sacred because you only get to do it once with the beings around you that you have. I know because I've had past lifetime regressions with my beautiful friend from New Zealand. And in those past lifetime regressions, we were sisters. But in this lifetime, she's my friend. And I met her when I was in my 20s. I was 25. And we've found ourselves again now that we've awakened and we are walking this path together. I found her again in the last 3 years. But I've spent most of my life without her. Whereas in previous lifetimes, she was my sister and I was with her for many, many years from birth. She was there. So you see, what you have right now is unique to you. You will only have this once to have this experience. So cherish your partner that you have right now. Cherish your children. Cherish your parents. They may not be here in this next lifetime that you have, but you have them now. You have them now. Now, I got a bit off topic with that one because what we wanted to go to with this self-love is almost impossible when you feel this way about life, when you feel this way about yourself. Yes, it is impossible because self-love is about loving all of it. Self with a capital S is spirit, is your soul, however you want to call it. And to not love any part of your journey is what causes pain and suffering. We're not accepting that that was part of our journey, that that's what we came here to experience. It's like that beautiful recipe we were talking about before. All of the ingredients that went into making that dish were necessary. Take out one ingredient and that dish will taste completely different. You would be completely different. Think about it. Who would you be today if you were completely loved in your childhood? Completely loved and adored. Who would you be? How would your life be different? You know, one day I remember sitting there and I was judging myself for yelling at my daughter. And I was remembering all the times I'd been yelled at in my childhood and I'd been smacked. And I remember sitting there thinking, but I like who I am. There's nothing wrong with who I am. I like me as a person. And in that moment, I thought, because I was judging myself that I was yelling at my daughter and that it was wrong because I went through it and I remember how bad it used to make me feel. But I wasn't seeing the whole picture. In yelling at my daughter, I could see the other side of this experience. Because one thing is to receive the yelling as a child. What does that feel like? Another thing is to be the parent that is doing the yelling. And how does that make you feel inside? And the moment I stopped judging myself for doing that was the moment I realized, oh. So there was a moment I realized that this is how my mum felt every time she yelled at me when I was little. And in that moment that I had that realization that this is why I had to go through it, was that I was able to let that go. I didn't need to judge it anymore or make myself feel bad anymore that I was yelling at my own daughter. It's about understanding why that experience is there, what you are meant to gain from that experience, what wisdom, what knowledge is your soul yearning to gain from this experience? This is always the question. Self-love is loving all of it without judgment. When we judge it, we say that it's wrong. We say that it's bad. We don't accept that this was part of our journey, that this was an ingredient that was necessary to create this dish. We needed this to get here where we are today. So today we put it to you to look at your beautiful life, to look at your experiences and to see them as ingredients in a recipe. Everything you've been through is to create a beautiful dish. So, my beautiful being, self-love becomes possible the moment you begin to love all of it. And the parts that you can't love, that you feel within yourself you can't love, perhaps look at why. Why can't I love that about my journey? Why can't I love that about me? All right, my beautiful beings, I love you guys. Remember to click like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the messages, and share the beautiful videos. You never know who may need this information today. And I'll see you in the next video, okay? Bye for now.